If you have a door that's kind of dragging or sticking like that, it may be a real simple fix of just bending those things that hold the pins. So you need to look at the gaps around the door, and if you are lucky, they will be consistent but tilted. In other words, what you see along here is the gap is smaller on this side of the door than it is on this side, and the gap on the side there is bigger, whereas that one is smaller. So what's happening is the door is basically tilting towards this direction. Obviously I'm exaggerating with my hand, but that's basically what's happening. So to fix that so that the door isn't dragging anymore, what we're going to do is remove the pin from there and from there, and then I'm going to put a shim up in there to try to get where the top is level. Once I do that, I'm going to bend the pin holder there until it's lined up again, and then reinsert the pin, and that should straighten out the door. Now keep in mind, this door is just barely off, so it's not going to take much to fix it. And also keep in mind, this only works when the door is consistent, like in this case where it's just kind of tilting. You could have a worse foundation problem, like we have a door in this house where that gap's closing in and that gap is closing in simultaneously, so it's squeezing the door, and while it's doing that, the top part is coming down, so it's also creating pressure there, so it's squeezing the door in 3 directions, and that is not an easy, homeowner fix. That's a foundation problem. You can kind of cheat and sand the door down a little bit, but eventually you got to fix your foundation. But for a door like this, we're in luck because we can just bend these pins. With the pin out, then you want to see, like I think in my case the door has already kind of corrected itself, but if it hadn't, you could wedge a screwdriver or a shim, possibly even like a credit card or something in there to fix it. But what you see has happened, see how these are not lining up anymore. So what you want to do is bend them. So like we'll bend these 2 back into line, and then when we put the pin back in, the door should swing freely because it's lined up correctly now. Just eyeballing it, it looks like it's flush the way it should be, level across the top and plumb on the sides. This is more of an art than a science, but what I'm going to do is try to bend these. And you see, now I have reduced the drag probably 90%, and I didn't really bend these all that much. But you see it's not hanging at the top. It was hanging up in this corner, and just by bending that a little bit, I fixed it. I could bend it even more and get it perfect. Like I said, it's more of an art than a science. You use a little bit of trial and error, but I I don't know if the camera's really showing it or not, but to my eye, the gaps have improved tremendously compared to where they were before I started this project. So that's something that, for a typical homeowner, super easy to do. Doesn't require a lot of tools, doesn't require a lot of time. So hope that helps you.